Every time you get drunk, medically or legally drunk, you lose about 10,000 brain cells. Gone, dead, died, forever. And about 1 million to 2 million more that are severely damaged that will go if you stop drinking, and you actually lose IQ points. In drinking, you can lose up to 30 IQ points, which you can't get back.
That's astonishing.
Yes.
You say you were never drunk when you were, say, taping or filming a show, but since you drank all those years, there must have been some debilitation, something that might have showed over the years in your work. Are you able to spot that in watching your work over the years?
No, I'm not.
If you were losing
the only
those
thing I noticed was energy.
Yeah.
A little debilitation, and I didn't have quite as much energy. And I thought, I wonder what's the matter with me. I exercise and everything. The delusion. I didn't stop to think that it might be that.
In Barbara Mahoney's book, it's terrifying that what happens to the wife of an alcoholic, because she has the kids in the school, and the kids are embarrassed by the terrible scenes they see at home and say things like, well, is Daddy really going to hurt you, Mommy, and things when he would threaten her or hit her or whatever. But she said at least the husband could get away, even if he stumbled out of the house and went to work all day drunk. He at least got away, but she was there the whole time, and she would drink too. How did it work with your own wife?
Well, my own wife was an alcoholic too, it turns out.
Yeah.
We were both in treatment. As a matter of fact, my wife is a therapist now at a treatment center in Phoenix at St. Luke's Hospital.
Treating alcoholics?
Treating alcoholics, yes.
Yeah.
And doing very well at it, as a matter of fact. So we didn't have quite that same problem, but it's true that either spouse, the one who is non-alcoholic, is as sick emotionally. They're very sick and they need treatment. Usually if you don't treat both of them, the alcoholic does not get well. What happens is that the alcoholic is very ashamed and very guilty about what he is doing, and he cannot help himself. But he can't stand to attack himself that way, so he projects his own anger at himself onto his spouse. He said, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't drink. You're the one that makes me drink, and uses those kind of rationales. So that eventually the spouse begins to feel, maybe I am the reason. Maybe it's me. If I just would change and treat him differently, he wouldn't drink. And they become very neurotic and sick themselves and need help.
Which of you was it who decided to seek help first?
It was me.
Yeah.
I was the one, yeah.
Yeah.
I began to have the one symptom that you cannot avoid, and that's a personality change when I drank. A personality. I was always a very happy drunk if I got drunk. And I had a very high tolerance, which I found out later is one of the clues. If you have a very high tolerance and can stay on your feet speaking clearly when everybody else is going down the drain, that's a sign that you may have a propensity physically for alcohol.
Yeah, you do hear that very thing used by people who say, well, so-and-so has no trouble because she never changes, or he never changes. He can take 6 or 8 drinks and you never know it. I've also heard that an increased tolerance is dangerous.
Increased tolerance, at a certain point, this happened to me, your tolerance goes to nothing. Just all of a sudden you can't drink at all.
Yeah.
But strangely enough, one of the things that makes an alcoholic physically, physiologically, is that it is a depressant for most people. For an alcoholic, it is a stimulant. And as long as blood level of alcohol is on the rise, he'll perform better. His motor responses will be better. His concentration will be better. A normal person gets worse.
That is, so a lot of performers claim that they do get better in performance if they have a drink. And this is true, isn't it?
That
with some cases,
tend to be people who will adapt chemically to alcohol. It very likely is true.
Because there are people who will say that's never true. It's flatly never true. A drink ruins you. But, well, the Limelight story, I guess.
We won't mention any names, of course.
No. But that's a vicious trap, because a performer has to be good. He has to have his edge on, so to speak.
Yes.
He has to have that drink. And
that I never tried. I always felt that would be a dulling thing.
Yeah.
And of course, there was always the guilt there. It's a bad thing.
It might have been well if
it was a bad thing.
You were raised that way.
Yes.
Was there no drop of liquor in your home as a child?
I think there was a drop of liquor in my home, but nobody ever drank it.
Yeah. Yeah, I come from a culture, Midwest Nebraska, where there was booze in the house, but weeks would go by without anyone having any.
That's true.
That seems to have changed even there, though. I think it's the whole country's.
We've become a drinking culture. We really have.
Are there any figures on how many people are alcoholics and don't know it? I don't know how you'd get them.
Well, they think there's about 15
so.
million in the United States.
Yeah.
And of course, there's only about 250,000, I think, in AA, and a few thousand others in treatment centers around the country. And the rest are people who are probably listening to us right now and denying to themselves they have a problem, and something's gnawing back there. Gee, really, I'm drinking too much. But like I always told myself, I drink because I enjoy it. I can quit anytime I want. And I was lying to myself. I really couldn't.
Yeah.
But as long as you keep doing it, you never have to prove that.
Can you tell what the worst aspect of it is when you're drunk? Is it, looking back over it all, is it the damage you do to yourself? Is it the damage you do to your wife or your kids? Or,
Well, all of that is a terrible thing, because you do have terrible guilt and terrible shame. What really happens is that most of us have fairly high values, and we get into characterological conflict. Our behavior is in conflict with our values, and it's a guilt-producing thing.